I had to start over because I got this pop up and it cut off my video. I have to find another better app for this because I do not like. Well, I don't know why the whole video has to shut down just because the app. I mean, a question pops up about an update, but that's something else. This is part two of what I was reading. Ephesians 5:22. The whole subject is husbands and wives. As I mentioned in the first part, I could go on about the subject all day, but it's best to just stick to the specifics. In both scenarios, how wife should treat a husband and how husband should treat her wife, how husband should treat his wife. It's in both those things, Christ is compared. We'll start off with the wife. It says, wives, be willing to serve your husbands, the same as the Lord. A husband is the head of his wife, just as Christ is the head of the church. Yes, there's an order of things. God likes things in order. Not saying that there aren't other possible ways to handle things. Like, of course, a wife could be head of a household, but she still should be in the order of God just because God says so. And that's what makes you a follower of God. Um, God has a certain plan set up for how life should be lived. And if you're going along with that plan, then you're in God's plan. But if you're outside of that plan, then you're in your own plan. And in a sense, you're making yourself a God. This is the only way to determine what's your God, who's your God, because you need a set of rules or guidelines or laws to say this is what God says. Now, either you're going to do it as God says or you're going to do the opposite. And if you do the opposite, you're automatically making yourself or something else a God. But that's just like in any law. Like in the police give you lots of laws. Don't speed, don't text while driving, that kind of thing. But if you do those things, of course, there's punishment for going against the law. And God has the right as the creator of the world to say, I do not want you to do this and that, etc. Okay, let me clear my voice. I just woke up. But okay, so in the sense, God is saying, this is how I want it to be. Of course, wives, you can come out and you can earn your own income and be financially stable, and you can lift weights and build muscles and be stronger than a man, and you can do all things if you work at it. You can do all things greater than a regular man. Of course, you can sit there and work at it, but in the sense of things, I'm not asking you to try to be greater than a man. I'm trying to ask you to get in line with my plan and have the husband as the head of the household, and then you, and then that's the order that I want. So it's saying, wives, serve your husbands like this, like you would serve the Lord. So in a sense, it gives you humbleness, wives, when you're a wife and you humble yourself and serve your husband, no matter if he's respectable sometimes or not. You just serve him because it also says in the Bible, you don't know by your Christian actions or your godly way of being if you're gonna influence your husband or not. You might not. Who knows? But if you've already married that person and you plan to stick with them for life, then um, and you want any kind of if you're trying to be obedient to God, then you must be in line with how God's saying. So you should serve your husband like Christ would serve the church, or like you were serving the Lord. And in that sense, it also says the husband is the head of the wife, just as Christ is the head of the church. So if you call yourself a Christian or a believer in Christ, then and you have a husband, you should find yourself being kind to a husband. Usually, of course, women are known as the more emotional creatures. We have our monthly cycle and menstrual cycle that those are emotions out of whack a lot of the time. But if you take note of it, you can be in control of your circumstances at all times. Don't use a cycle as a chance to just say I can really let my feelings go because everybody knows that when a woman's on her cycle, then she really feels like this. Don't abuse the situation. You you have to enter yourself into a mode as a woman and into a mode of calmness and peace about you and humbleness. All those things work together in your womanhood and give you the ability to serve a man, whether you're looking over at him after you just threw his socks on the ground and you're annoyed at him because he's just playing a video game all day and you're doing all the housework. No, look at your mate as, always see your mate, whether you're man or woman, see your mate as somebody that you were trying to pursue in the beginning. That's how you should always perceive them and view them, because when you lose that sense of I'm excited about seeing this person, that's when you start taking them for granted. And you're like, oh, that's just that old bag of bones over there. I don't care about that person. They get on my nerves. I mean, everybody has faults. And when you start being with somebody every single day of your life as a husband and wife, you got to see that person 24 hours a day sometimes. Um, that when you're in close proximity with someone, sometimes their habits or whatever they do or their routines, they can get annoying to you, or what they do or what they don't even do. It can start getting annoying to you. And if you don't notice it, you're not clearing out the thoughts in your mind. So all you're doing is stacking up day after day saying, oh, yesterday that person threw their socks on the ground. Yesterday they just watched TV all day while I cooked, cleaned, and did everything else. Yesterday they did this, that, and you're not taking notice of any of the good things. Always be mindful of any good things that go on. I mean, if they're doing something for you, or if you happen to go out on a date, if they remember to sit out some food out of the freezer for you to make dinner or something, the little things do matter too. Um, I'm talking about in a good relationship where two people are really treating each other with decency. I'm not talking about being in a relationship where you get constantly disrespected or used or abused or any of that other stuff. I'm talking about somewhere where some people are treating people like humans, and you can actually look and say, oh, they might have some annoying habits, but I love this person a lot. And because I love that person, then I'm going to view this person in the best light. Always view the person you're with in the best light. Never try to think of them. And if you're, the whole point of being in a relationship is to make each other's lives better, to come together. If you come together and you find out that all you're doing is arguing and bickering and abusing each other and treating each other wrong and all this other stuff, that's not the love God planned. And God does not condone that in any kind of way. Usually it comes with that kind of lifestyle. Bickering, etc., can come in anything, but it usually comes in lifestyles and relationships that God hasn't approved of, like fornication. Like if you've gotten into a relationship early and you've moved in with each other or whatever, God doesn't approve of you just moving in and there's no real commitment. He's talking about commitment of the heart. He's not telling you to really walk down to the church house and make it official. God's talking about the officialness has to be in your heart and your spirit. Because a lot of people these days, the routine of the trend of these days is just hooking up pretty much. You start dating, you give it away early. I mean, you start sleeping with each other, and then you just automatically say, okay, since I've this is how it goes. You sleep together, and then the man is like, okay, well, this person is kind of okay to be around, but I have no intention to commit, so I'm just gonna really keep this one like the main chick, and then have some people on the side too. And you see, you're missing out on the commitment in the heart and in the spirit from the man. Usually, that's the trend in the culture that I know, my culture, and usually this day and time. So men are actually out there wanting to have a good wife. But I saw this post that is real deal truth. This post said that men are always talking about they want this woman who goes home and reads or just is very laid back and kind of just reads and doesn't go out and party in clubs. And then it says, why do you want that kind of girlfriend? Just so you can go out while she's reading chapter 13, you can go out with your other girlfriend. And that's the key factor of this day and age. It's pretty much everyone's hooking up with everybody. Everybody's cheating behind everybody's back. Nobody's honest. Nobody's authentic about anything they do, especially in the relationship area. And it's just a whole bunch of schemes. When you're afraid to get in a relationship because you're looking like, this person told me all these promises. Now I've laid my life down on the, I've just spilled out my whole life. I've told them everything about my life. I've been through this, and this. And this person says, oh, I promise I won't hurt you. But really, some of these men these days are just only about the schemes and routine. Or, okay, it's two types. It's three types. Three types. The faithful one who's really true about it. The next one is the one who wants to be true about it and they can't be, but they are hoping that they turn out to be the good man they want to be, but they eventually cheat anyway. And then there's the third one who just gives you just a bunch of games just because it's fun to them, and that's their routine. They've done it since they were young, and they still do it. So there's three type of people. Hopefully you can run into the first type, the one who's true and honest about it and doesn't have any plan to cheat and is really looking for a serious relationship. The next one has the ability to be faithful, etc., but they still have things in their spirit to work out. Adultery and they're cheating, promiscuous, womanizing, manipulative ways. It's still embedded in them. And even though they want to be a good person for you, they just simply can't because it's in their nature. It's almost like encoded in their DNA. They have to do these things because it's what's coming as a natural reaction, especially if they find that the relationship has gone on a little and that thrill has gone. Everybody's after that thrill. They even sell that thrill in pills, the thrill pill. So everybody wants that thrill. They want that newness of a relationship. Oh, it's so exciting. We can just gaze in each other's eyes all day and just look and that kind of thing. But I mean, it comes to a point. You can be you can have that feeling always, but it's gonna take two to carry that. It always takes two to participate. You can carry that feeling through the rest of your life. It's possible. Nobody says it has to end. But it comes where neglect starts to kick in. That's why I said always look at your partner as someone new, as if you looked at them in the beginning, and you will never lose that passion for them, that affection, that attraction, none of that. But instead, you start seeing the same old face, the same old everything, day after day after day after day. And if you don't think about it, you're slowly losing the appreciation for that person just because they become routine or habit. But they are that person that you're losing affection and attraction to. That person can easily pick up the attention of someone new. So don't lose your relationship by being a dummy and neglecting your partner and just thinking that that's just she's old now or he's old now. Nobody wants them, and you know their time is over. But I can get my eyes on some new people, and I've got this one sitting at home, and all they do is read or whatever, while I go out and have the extra. It doesn't work like that because eventually, while you're trying to juggle with your hands full, you're gonna get tired. No, actually, they're gonna get tired and they're gonna drop you, and you're left with nothing because whoever you're cheating with, the same thing is repetitive. You're the same person. You can, man or woman, if you find yourself you were in a relationship and you try to be faithful and you mess the whole thing up by cheating and the person left you, you hop into the relationship that you were cheating with on that person. Well, the same thing. It's just a constant habit. It's something you have to work out. If you want to have a real relationship, if you come to yourself saying, "I'm tired of running through these women or these men. I'm tired of flipping and switching. I want to have a new life." If you find yourself doing that, then it takes a change within you. Now, of course, I always say God's word can change you. It's the thing that can lift your spirit, open your spirit, feed your spirit, and show you a new way of thinking, a new life, etc. But it's going to take you wanting to do it, just like somebody getting off drugs. You have to have the you have to have the desire to do so, or else you're never going to do it. But in the general sense of things, um, if you want to stop your cheating, promiscuous ways, you got to put your mind to it. You got to put your spirit, heart, everything you got into it. You got to be committed, or else don't sign up. Why are you signing up for these women when you know how it's gonna end? Do you enjoy the heartbreak? Do you enjoy hurting another person? Why would you want to do that? And it's the second one who's the most trickiest of all. Because usually if somebody's the first one, if someone's the first one, you have no worries about them. They're straight up, they're straightforward like me. I'm straightforward. If I'm planning to be with somebody else, trust me, you'll know about it. I don't have to sit around, I'll be gone, etc. Um, but the third person is also a good type, even though they're crooked and schemy, but you can usually tell a player's way from the get-go, from the jump. You can see, oh yeah, this one got game. Look how they approach me. Look how they treat women, etc. You can already know, if I got into a relationship with this kind of guy, I know for sure they will be cheating on me, guy or girl, whoever. I know for a fact, 100% fact, they will be cheating on me. So that one's safe. But it's that one in the middle who tries to act like, oh yes, I want a faithful relationship, but still has those hidden ways of being promiscuous and wanting other women. And that's the worst type because you'll be sitting in a relationship and until the day you actually find out, you're thinking it's all kosher. Oh, we've got a great love going on. We got a love thing. It's that kind of thing. You're all excited about the relationship. It's going on for years and years and years. And then all of a sudden, boom, here comes evidence of this person has been doing stuff behind your back probably since the day one, since start. So that is the one in the middle is the one to watch out for. Find out before you got, like I said, this is probably going to be a long topic. I'll try to keep it short. But when you get in a relationship, if you're thinking of having it serious, make sure that you find out what that person wants out of life and see what kind of traits and trends they have, see what they're about, see what they respect. I mean, you don't have to really dwell into their whole past life. Just look at what their actions are for the future. I mean, because somebody basing someone off of past relationships, that's not always true to what's going on today. So someone might have automatically changed their ways and said, you know what, I was like this and now I'm this. Don't try to judge someone off of all the women they had before. But see what they're about for the future. What kind of things do they do? What's their activities? What's this, that? It's a million questions. I'm sure someone's probably written a book on this. Um, if not, I probably need to because I have the whole million and one questions in my mind that I would already know that I would need to know. Because you gotta find out. You see people on TV these days and just back to back shows about on the news about, oh, this person got killed, this person killed their husband, this killed person put their wife on a barbecue pit, this person shot their husband, this person starved their baby to death. I mean, you don't know what people are thinking. You don't want to go to sleep and then wake up with a pot of hot grits thrown on you or anything like that. Or, just crazy stuff. I mean, if you think that everybody's good, wake up. Everybody's not good. They may seem good on the outside. We all walk around with the same, outside physical traits and human conditionings. We've been conditioned to do the natural things. Hello, good morning, how are you? Did you have a good day, etc. All these other niceties. And just because people say that, you figure, oh, this is a pretty decent person. They speak well. They told me good morning. They didn't say I hate you off the bat. But watch what people's actions are. That's the thing. If you find people that are always just criticizing somebody else or talking down on someone else or behind people's back talking about them or um just doing all kind of negative things all the time, just watch that kind of person because I mean that negative is not coming out for no reason. It's a clue to you to know who you're working with. You can't hide evil for too long because that's evil's purpose is to actually get something accomplished. So just like good purposes, good someone doing good. Obviously, if they have some thoughts of good in their mind, they want to get something good in this world accomplished, and they're going to take steps to do that. Many times, many people in the world are just in the middle. Nobody's pumping out good. Nobody's pumping out evil. It's just pretty much mundane, mediocre in the middle. Nobody's doing anything extra. We just pretty much go along as the day. But there are some that are above in the evil and some that are above in the good. And those forces are constantly at work in the world. So watch who you're with. Um, but let's get back to the main point. We're talking about husbands and wives. That was just a free tip, free game for you to, know who you're working with before you even get into the relationship. Because you are gonna want somebody who's respectable. You're gonna want to be with somebody who you can easily serve, like God is asking you to. Somebody who's not respectable, someone who treats you wrong or abuses you. It's gonna be a hard, hard, hard struggle just to try to every day look at that person and try to find some kind of respect for them because they've treated you so awfully as a human being. So it's best to not even get involved with, know who you're getting involved with before you do. That's the summary of that part. Okay, so let's see. This whole section is about wives and husbands and how God has set up an order for you to follow, pretty much in a sense. And God says, wives, serve your husband like you would serve the Lord. In a sense of things, how would you serve the Lord? Of course, you would bow to the Lord. If Christ came to you right now, you would bow to him, etc. Not saying that you have to do those things. Those things are great. But instead of bowing, you might want to give your husband a pedicure. Um, there's nothing wrong with that. You do their nails, do their pedicure, whatever. I mean, do some favorable things. If you find yourself at the end of the day, there's always one thing different out of the day you can do. There's pedicures you can give them, manicures you can give them. You can just do various things. I mean, ask what's your favorite food. Just serving someone like you serve Christ is just trying to find out what do they appreciate or what do they need. They may not even know they need it, but you just give it to them anyway because you see what they need. Gifts, a relationship gives boredom. If you got that kind of relationship where the wife or husband is only treating you or respecting you on a birthday or a holiday, that is just almost like a disrespect kind of. I mean, it's a good thing to give presents on birthdays, sure, yes, especially to family, etc. That's family, and you care about your family. But this is somebody you're supposed to be living with, cherish with. You go to work probably about 10, at least 10 hours a day. I mean, at least 8 hours a day. It's sometimes like 10, 12, 15 hours. And you don't get to see your spouse through that whole time. You're just going to work, working hard, trying to make money, income to take care of the household. Now, are you taking care of your household or are you taking care of the house? Because if you're going to work just to work all those hours and all your money just goes on paying the rent, the utility bills, the car note, when does your wife or your husband get appreciated? That's not honoring. You're not taking care of the household. You're taking care of the house per se. You're taking care of bills. The household is the family that's there. And without any family, it all falls away. There are certain things that for both wife and husband, you should be treating your husband and wife as much as you can. When you see they need something, it could be something small, do something little just to show that some kind of appreciation. If you don't see they need anything, write them a little card, a little note, a little letter, stick it in your lunch that you make or something like that. I mean, it doesn't take much to go above and beyond, and it doesn't have to happen so frequently, but every once in a while, at least if it happens just 1 or 2 days out of the year besides on their birthday or a holiday, then pretty much at least you're trying. I mean, but make sure those 1 or 2 times are something big, not something small. Now you can do little small things throughout the year, but if you only plan to do maybe 2 extra things besides the holiday out of the year, then that should be something at least a little bit. I mean, it's not saying that your wife or your husband's a gold digger. Oh, she wants me to get her this and that. No, don't make her ask or don't make him ask for anything. Just it's about you opening your eyes and seeing where a need can be met. Just like Christ opened his eyes and saw that a need needed to be met for all of humanity and he gave his life. So don't make the relationship one where only time, oh, it's Christmas. Oh my gosh. I gotta go out and try to find something. What's on sale? What kind of appreciation? That's not love. That is, who needs that? I mean, if your husband and wife couldn't, if they wanted their little 50-cent gift or your $500 gift or your $1 million gift or whatever, couldn't they just, if it's all about just you showing them the gift on Christmas, couldn't they just say, I'm not getting any affection, no love, no attention, no nothing from this person? Couldn't they just go get an extra job, make all the money, and get the little gifts that you would give them on Christmas? It's not about the gifts, it's about the affection, the attraction, the care behind it. This is what keeps the relationship going. There's nowhere in the world your relationship's gonna go when everybody in the relationship is feeling neglected. You come home from that long day of work and all it is problems and arguments and etc. You want to come home from the long day for both sides. I'm not even gonna break it down to wife and husband anymore. I'm gonna just talk in general for both sides. In summary, it's all about what you can do to make the next person's life better. Um, Number one thing is to have a prayer life. This is where you can become intimate and open yourselves up. Men, these men don't really like to walk around in their feelings so much where they're just like on cloud nine. Oh, I'm so loved. Yeah, I love this. So since they're not like that, they're more trying to have this persona of I'm the man, I'm strong, I'm an individual, I'm a leader. They're trying to gain that perception of themselves. So they're not more on the soft side where the woman would like to see, oh, he's so sensitive, he opens his heart, is caring. He's not going to have that. So this is where the prayer time comes in. When you come together, you're pretty much putting yourself before God together. You're both praying to God and you're open to God and you're just expressing love back and forth and taking out a time to say love to each other between you, your spouse, and God. So that would be a good moment of intimacy. That's where God comes into play, and that's where He becomes important in the relationship because He is the one who can bring the intimacy out if your husband is not naturally like that. Or your wife even. If your wife's not naturally like that, then the same thing for that. But pretty much this whole section, and I'm about to wrap it up. The whole section is about God's order of things. God ordered the seed must be put into the ground and water be put on the seed in the dirt in order for a plant to rise, or else no plant will rise. God ordered a man and woman to be together to be intimate in order to have a child, or other naturally, or else no other way will you be able to naturally have a child, except by like test tubes, etc. Just the same way God ordered that husband be the leader of the wife. God made the husband first and then he made the wife. And he put it in that order as an order of respect. And that's just the way he wants it. So just honor each other. It's simple things. You don't have to do much. It's good treatment. So many people get divorces these days when everything was so good at the beginning. What happened? What changed? You can start noticing, oh, at the beginning we couldn't pull ourselves away from each other. We were gazing each other's eyes all day, stayed on the phone all night, etc. Then slowly we got used to each other, and our schedules on work became more important, and we started working more. If you find out that work is taking all your time, think to yourself, if you say I'm a husband or I'm a wife, and start to analyze, am I living up to what wife husband status, or when I come home do I just nag and complain? First of all, women are known as the naggers. Me myself, I don't do much nagging, but I do tell the truth how it is. But you can avoid nagging. Don't always just try to make a complaint. Just stop making your mate feel like that they're just doing everything wrong. I'll go into the grocery store and I might see a woman, a woman talk, talk wrong to her man, or in a way pretty much like, the man might pick something up, let's say. I'm trying to remember an exact scenario because I know I've seen a few times in my whole history, and I'm trying to bring back a scenario. But in a general sense, it's pretty much always a sense where the man does something, the woman asks him to do something, and he might pull the wrong chips or something. Hey, give me a bag of chips. I don't want those bag of chips. We don't eat those. I mean, it's just like a embarrassment and a nag. When you ask for a bag of chips, you didn't say the specific kind. Maybe he wanted those chips that kind that time. You don't always have the same chips. I mean, be careful when we get to living with people. Sometimes when you here's humanity. Let me just say it like this: humanity is we always, like I said earlier, we are taught the decencies of humanity. When you see someone, say good morning. When you see someone at night, say good night. That kind of thing. Be polite, etc. And people can perceive you as a genuinely good person. But it's when we come together. How many people can stand living with each other's attitudes? Not many, because these days, or all days actually, not just these days, people are more into themselves. If something annoys them, etc., they're ready to go off at the next person. Be mindful that you're not perfect in your own self. So don't just go off on the next person just because you think that you're being annoyed. If that person let loose on you, you couldn't stand it. So carry each other's faults. That's all it is. If you feel yourself, you can, when you're annoyed at something, you can feel the temperature almost rising. You're like, oh my gosh, and you just want to attack. But calm down for a second. Always be in the mind frame of that Jesus died for your sins and God forgave you. So why let this person have it? If God lets you have it every time, You wouldn't like that too much at all. You're always messing up. Nobody's perfect, so you are having some mess ups on this earth, whether you like to believe it or not. Nobody is Mr. Perfect walking this earth. So just be mindful of that. Don't always, if you find yourself, that's what I was saying. Analyze your habits, analyze your traits, analyze what you're doing, your thought patterns. Right now, in your mind, think right now, how do I think about my spouse? Did you think, oh, you started probably thinking, oh, they don't care about me anymore. They used to care about me. They're not giving me the love that I deserve, etc., etc. Well, I didn't mean to think about what they're doing to you. I said, think about how you are to your spouse, what you think about your spouse. What are you doing to them? You should be thinking about what you do. Usually you always want to call out what somebody else is doing and not worrying about what we're doing. Should you have called out? I do nag at them a lot. I'm not really helping out in the house too much. They're doing all the work in the house. I am staying too much at work. If you find yourself, if one of your excuses that you find is that, oh, I can't really pay my wife or husband attention because I have so many hours of work, well, you know what? It's time for cutback. Instead of working all those long hours, start living within your means. Your family is most important. Trust me, I've seen relationships end left and right, and those people, sometimes there's one person in the relationship who would beg, who would do anything in the world just to have their relationship back. But by then it's too late. So don't sit there and try to stack up so much in this earth and lose your family just because you're trying to stack up. I mean, what's more valuable? You got to find out. Is this money that you're getting you're going to work all those hours just to pay your bills, just to go back to work. You don't even get to live in the house you're paying for. You're always at work. You don't get to use the electricity you're paying for. You're always at work. Everything's about always at work. If you want to, if you're in a relationship, you should be making time for your family. So it would be better for you to say, you know what, I will start looking for a place that if I'm working 15 hours a week, I'm gonna find a place that I only work 8 hours a week. I mean, 8 hours a day instead of 15 hours a day. So if I'm working 15 hours a day, I'm gonna work 8 hours a day instead. And we'll get into a smaller house. I had a 3 bedroom, but instead I'll make a 2 bedroom, and the kids can have a bunk bed. The two kids can have a bunk bed instead. And me and my wife will be able to be in our own room, and we'll just do it that kind of way. Just reduce size. There's nothing wrong with it. Everywhere you look around, everybody's always saying, get more, get bigger, get better. But there's no limit to that. That's the problem with always trying to grab, grab, grab. There's no limit, and you will never ever reach the top. Reach the top. I mean, there's not many people. I mean, the top in this earth is probably the most money that anyone's ever made is under $1 trillion, of course. But there's greater numbers than that. So will you never be satisfied with your current income? You've always got to find satisfaction. How do you say it? Satisfaction. I don't know. I'm tired and I'm off Advil. If that can affect the brain, I don't know. But satisfaction. I don't know how. It's the word I'm trying to say. Satisfying, whatever. But you will never be satisfied if you do not satisfaction. Duh. Why can I think of that? But anyway, you will never find satisfaction if you're sitting there and you're always worrying about trying to get to the next level. Yes, being inspired and having motivation, etc. That is necessary as a human. I mean, of course, you want to always improve, you want to thrive, etc. for your family. But if it's taken away from your family, then it's no problem. It's no shame to say reduce. And if someone comes to you and say, hey, you used to ride big body Benz or whatever, and now you're in a Toyota Corolla. What happened? I mean, you have number one, you don't have to explain anything to them. There's no shame. But if you do explain, you just say, look, I just one day woke up and said, money is not more important than my family. I was working too many hours and I could not see my family. I did not see my home. I was just turning into a robot. I got up, I went to work, I came back home, went to sleep. I mean, I lived a lifestyle. The lifestyle I was living was just that if I might as well just had a cot at work, just pulled up a little what do you call it? A little cot and just sleep at work, and then when I got up, just go back to my desk and start again. That's the kind of life this a lot of us live, just back and forth, back to work. We don't have time to enjoy any of it, especially if we're in a relationship. If we're in a relationship, it's very important to be mindful how much time you spend at work, because definitely whether your spouse says something or not, they're feeling it, and they have the right. If this goes on year after year after year, if they tell you, hey, I'm not happy because you spend much time in work, and all your response is that I gotta pay the bills for the family. No. Did you ever consider sitting down talking to your spouse and saying, okay, I gotta provide bills for the family, but I do expect that you need to see me more. So what can we do? I work 60 hours per week. Would you like me to cut that into 40, and then maybe you help out and you work maybe 20 hours per week somewhere, if it's a stay-at-home wife or that kind of thing? Everything, where there's a will, there's a way. Usually when someone says, I have to work so much or whatever, they haven't considered that there's other options, and they haven't thought. They just think that I must stick at this job, and I must go stay away from my family. Or if somebody who just has that in their little schedule, they like, they're a workaholic and they like being at work. Or the other thing is that somebody is just using it as an excuse to go see their mistresses or their mistresses, whatever you call a man hooker, or side piece or whatever. But yeah, there's many excuses, many reasons that why you can't be with your family, but that should not be any of them. There's no reason to be away from your family, not any reason not to pay your immediate family attention, because this is the family you created. You've got this wife or husband, and you've got these children. Now build upon them. Don't just leave them without any guidance, any kind of inkling of who you are in the world. Um, so let's see. So that's the whole thing. Husbands. So I want to get to the specific fact. How do you love your husband? How do you love your wife? I gave a few examples of what a wife can do. Like I was saying, males, you can know their favorite food, cook it for them. Know what they like, if they're into whatever, if they're into games or vehicles or whatever, try your best to get their most favorite thing. I mean, it might seem expensive. You might hear them talk about, oh, I like this kind of car or whatever. You're like, I can never get that. But like I said, whether there's a will, there's a way. Find out what they like and try to help them get it, or you get it as a surprise on your own by some method. You work extra hours if you need to without taking away from your family time. You do something to eventually, and it might be like a 2015 vehicle that they like, but even though you can't get that one, make plans to get the same kind of model in 2018 or whatever. Save all those 3 years, and save up enough so you can put the down payment or pay monthly or whatever, however you want to do it, just so that your spouse knows I'm really valuable to this person. 3 years ago, I told this person I like this kind of vehicle, and they couldn't get it right then, and I forgot all about the vehicle. But I know I always like that model and type, and they just now brought me this car of that model and type. So that's a huge sign that you love them. Work hard for who you love, but not so much that you don't get to see the one you love. That's the whole thing. So that was a few things for the one for the what the women can do for the men. Um, and here's how Christ loved the church so much, of course, that he died for them. Nobody's saying to die for anyone, but you should be having that sense in yourself that I would actually die for this person if it came through. I would jump in front of the bullet for them, etc. You would love them that much that you would. Not saying you have to, of course, because life is what God wants for you, not death. But you should be feeling that way. And Christ did things like wash his disciples' feet. Like I said, you could do pedicures, etc. Christ did everything. He just sat and listened to all the people. He listened to his church. He wanted to heal them, whatever they were needing. He wanted to give them. That's the kind of things for both sides that we should be doing. Things the husband can do for wife. Women were very easy to get things for. Men, they're more into the things that are more expensive, I think. Women too. Women, if you got the bougie kind of, or no, I don't want to say bougie, but the girl who likes, because it's not fair to just because someone likes nice things, it's not fair to say they're bougie or nothing. It's just that they like nice things. So, women who that like the fancy purses or whatever. I'm not a purse girl myself, but they like Michael Kors or whatever they're into. Get, I mean, of course, get that. If they're a woman who likes purses and shoes, that's easy to do. Hey, I just went to the mall today. Look what I got. I mean, you don't even have to put any thought into it. They said the cash register lady said that, or the salesperson said this is the newest one they had, and it's a most popular. I mean, men, you don't have to be in the women's fashion. You don't have to know about woman stuff. You can just go to the sales rep and say, what has been selling off the charts? I mean, what purse have the women been coming for? And usually that's gonna be the purse that the girls want to go show off. They're like, oh, my husband got this. Oh my gosh, that's the purse everybody's getting. You know, that kind of thing. So it's easy to get for women. You don't have to research this. Walk in a popular name store and grab something off the shelf. Of course, women, oh my God, women love if they don't have to make a dinner, especially if they're like a cooking kind of woman and they go to work just like the man. If both of you are working and the woman's usually the one who comes home and cooks the meal. Of course, if you one night she comes in and everyone just says, "Hey, instead of cooking tonight, we're just gonna order pizza, kick back, watch movies, pop some popcorn, that kind of thing." That's something a woman would like. Um, just remembering things, helping sometimes men like to just maybe throw their clothes off and throw it on the floor, and then the woman comes by behind to pick it up to put it to the laundry room or whatever. If you could actually carry that stuff to the laundry room, of course, women would appreciate that. When she goes to the regular spot to see where your pile of clothes is and it's not even there, she's gonna wonder where's all the clothes at. It must be somewhere else. But then she goes to the laundry mat area and finds that the clothes are actually there, then she'll be happy about it. She doesn't have to carry your clothes and hers down there. Um, what else? I mean, just regular stuff. Usually, whatever the woman is responsible for, just lifting that load. If she's the one cooking, lift the load for cooking. She's the one washing clothes, lift the load for washing clothes. If she's taking care of the kids, you watch them for the night and say, you know what? You go out with your friends if she's got friends. Go out if she doesn't. Just go out on a shopping spree. You just go by yourself. I've got the kids for now, or send the kids to a babysitter. You both go out to a nice dinner. It doesn't have to be so fancy. You can kick it back at McDonald's. I mean, it doesn't have to be that big. Um, just little stuff. I mean, girls like to get their nails done. I do my own, but of course you can go take her to a nail shop. They would love that. Um, just remember her besides Christmas and her birthday because that's the worst. I mean, all it feels like, especially if you've gone on for year after year after year and it's the same thing. I already know, and especially, oh my God, if you are given the same type of gift every holiday. I mean, it's the worst. If you number one haven't shown affection, appreciation, or nothing throughout the year, and then here comes a holiday and or a birthday, and you're known for just getting like a purse and a pair of shoes. Here's the same purse and pair of shoes I've gotten you for the last 20 years. What kind of thrill is there in that? You think that if this was what you had to offer at the beginning of the relationship, she would have ever accepted your 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 proposal to be together or anything like that? No, nobody wants that. People can these days, back in the days of whatever, where it was like women's rights weren't even in play. I mean, of course, women had to really depend on the husband, and they were in the house and they were cooking, cleaning, etc. And they might have gone for that. I'll give her a gift on Christmas or holiday because you know what? They have no income for that freedom. Freedom, pretty much, in this area, in this day and age, and in this economy. That's what I'm trying to say. In this economy, money is usually your ticket to freedom. When you have money, then you can do things that you weren't able to do before. So if she's in the house cooking and cleaning, she's got to be in that position pretty much where she's got to be so grateful and thankful. Oh, you got me this birthday gift. Oh, you got me this holiday gift. Well, really, she knows that you stay at work all the time. Most likely, you got some kind of side chick that you're running through, and she's just being unappreciated at home But she has to have this good attitude because where else can she go? She doesn't want to go back home to her parents who probably have died by now anyway. She's just in this relationship, and plus she's got kids, so she fulfills her purposes by taking care of her kids and takes the little bit that you got as a husband to give to her. But these days, I mean, women are balling out the frame. We can go to work. Me myself have two jobs. We can go to work. We can make our own income. I've been working ever since I was 17. There's been a few lapses in times where I haven't been working, but not for long. I mean, I get right back on it. If you fall, you get right back up. There's always going to be change in your life. You're going to be down one moment, you come right back up. I mean, women can do whatever men can do. Okay, so that's where we really need the men to come with it. And unfortunately, in my culture, the men are not coming with it at all. The men, I spoke with this in one of my beginning videos. The men in my culture, per se, not all cultures, because there are some cultures that have great examples of men, like Bill Cosby on the Cosby Show men, not Bill Cosby in real life men, but they are great examples. There are some real men in this world, of course, but I'm talking about where I come from. And where I come from, it's just this normal trend. You don't grow up with a dad, so number one, you already don't even have a clue what being a man looks like. Second, your mom's trying to be mom and dad. So in her mind, she thinks I'm the feminine one, and I've got to teach my son the opposite of feminine. So I got to be hard on him. I got to be kind of rough on him. I can't give him feelings to cry, etc. So already the child's feelings are getting cut out. They have no feelings. That's why they have no problem with cheating behind their woman's back. They have no feelings. They can't feel that because they've already shut that down. They've been trained that since they were a young child. The mom is trying to take care of him, and they're saying, oh, you better not cry. You better not do this. You can't do that. You be a man. You stand strong. Don't drop tears. Don't do this, etc. So they're grown to this unfeelingness. They're numb inside. They're numb inside, and I know exactly what that's like. They're numb inside, and they don't show much feeling at all. So they go around numb, and they don't have much care for anything. But if they do happen across somebody who they seem as someone who they would like to have in their life, and they would like that kind of person for a wife, they grab them because it's the best thing they've had in their life. Even though they want to have the desire, this is the second type of man. They want that desire to put their old ways behind, but at the same time, they're numb. They don't know how to treat this beautiful gift they've gotten of a woman. So they're still in their old ways of just taking care of their own needs because that's what they've grown to know. So in my culture, women raise men. There are no men. And these young boys grow up to have no feelings, so they'll do just like their dad and have a child with a woman, and then not be there for the child at all, any kind of way, financial, emotional, no kind of way, and they're go on their own way, and it's just a repetitive cycle. Now this young woman stuck with her child alone without the dad, and now she's got to raise him, and she's trying to make him be a man, and she's being rough on him and trying to make him stand strong, etc. And he grows up and does the same thing. It's the same routine. That's what's in my culture. So usually the women in my culture don't usually get appreciated. They get used, abused, neglected, disrespected, left, all kind of things, all kind of crazy things. These are the stories of the people who are in the news where it says the man has killed his wife or that kind of thing. Because there's no respect in the sense of relationships. There's no good example of relationships. Only thing that you can, when I, this is why I said Bill Cosby earlier, because when I was young, that was a good show of a good show of how a family should be. I mean, it's sad when you have to really turn on the TV to show how a real family should be functioning. But that's all that my culture really can get a picture or depiction from a TV program. Shows like Bill Cosby, even maybe like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, that kind of thing. Where you see a family structure where there's actual authorities who are actually taking a part of the children's life. But usually these days, because the man in my culture, men of my culture, they leave the household. They're not even there. So it's women running the show. And like I said, women can take care of themselves. my culture, we have strong women. Usually, it's because they've been left. It doesn't have to be black race. It's people who are coming from hoods and ghettos and that kind of thing. It's always going to be strong women. If you look at the women in the culture, you'll see they're pretty much strong, or some have found a way to. They're hustlers or they're strong workers, either one. And some people have found ways to hustle the system or whatever and get on financial assistance, etc., just to take care of their kids or whatever, and be around their kids because the dad's not there. So they're on these programs or whatever and they're getting government assistance because they want to take care of their kids and be there for their kids, because if they're at work, their kid's going to be left at home. There is no dad. So they decide, instead of me going to work and making these, I don't have much education. I've come through this poverty change and I don't have much education myself. So instead of me going to work all day, with no education, and I'm going to only make like $7, $8 an hour, why don't I just stay home with my child, be able to supervise my child, and just get the free government assistance and live that way? So that's one side of it. And the other side of the women in my culture are strong women who say, you know what, I'm going to work 10 times harder. I'm going to go and get 2, 3 jobs, and I'm going to take care of my child. I'm going to make sure they have a good babysitter. They're going to have the best of everything. I'm going to prove to my son or my daughter that they don't have to, if you work hard, you can come out of this poverty, and that you don't have to, even if you don't have a dad, then I will take care of you. So that's what it is, on both sides. So, we're not given, in my culture, we're not given a good example of what a husband should be, what a wife should be. Usually there's not even both in the same household. You were just running into each other, pretty much hooking up. Something breaks us apart and then we're on to the next one. It's like a DNA strand encircling like this, or like an infinity, you know. We come together, we're there for a while, we break apart, then we come find to the next one. We're leveling up on the next one and the next one. When really all those relationships are coming to nothing. I mean, after so many relationships, we should already know what's the outcome of this. What it's gonna take is the desire for getting in a relationship is because we have sexual desires, of course. That's the number one thing. That's what needs to be addressed. And if you want to stop having the desire to get in a relationship, you have to gain control of your sexual appetite. I mean, of course, yes, it's sex is great, sex is fun or whatever, but if you see that you're having multiple babies by multiple men, etc., then it's gonna come a time where you got to control that and say, you know what, no more me giving myself out for free without these men making a commitment to my life. You cannot just come in as you please and then cause some problem with me and just come on out. Because usually these men have, some men are sitting there waiting for this opportunity. They probably have a wife somewhere else and they're just playing you. They just come to you because you're sexually attracted to them and they just want to have the free ride with you. And they see that they might have, people have opinions of someone. Sometimes lots of people have opinions of everyone, and usually they're wrong. Many people have opinion of young women in my culture who have multiple babies. They already have a idea that this person is already, I already see that they've got multiple babies. Number one, that's one of my qualifications. They have multiple babies because I know they're sexually active since they do. I know they sleep with multiple men since they have different kids from different dads. That's number two, so they'll sleep with me too. They're just going on the checklist to make sure that you'll sleep with them. That's why they'll give you a little time. So they're like, okay, it seems like she's ready to be with me too, so I'm gonna just act like I'm gonna be here for a little while. And anytime that I feel like disappearing, I'm gonna, either cause a big argument or I'm gonna cheat on her and she's gonna catch me in the act and then I can just move on to the next. Some people, whether they know it or not, are doing this and they're doing it on purpose. They're planning this whole thing out. They have no intention to really be with the woman. They're just there for the little free ride. If she's got, especially if the woman is taking care of her business and she's one of the strong women who's going out to work, etc., and she's got her own home or place to live, he has no place to live, especially. All he's doing is planning to have a spot to live for right then. He's trying to ease his way in, make her feel special. Oh yeah, and then she's getting all comfortable with them, and she's thinking, oh, he's good with my kids, and I don't even have to use a babysitter. I save some money on my babysitter because he can watch my kids now and that kind of thing. When the whole it's just manipulation because when he's back in his feet, then he's out the door or with somebody else. Unfortunately, in my culture, that's a lot of the game that's being run, and the morals are missing. And that's why we should probably, or not probably, that's why we need to get back to the foundation of the Bible. The morals of our culture is missing, and there is no in my culture. Go through, like I'd say, one out of every 30 households may have a husband and wife there. So almost this whole section doesn't even apply to my culture because there is no husband and wife. There should be a sideline version in this book somewhere. What you should do about it, having sidelines and main chicks and all that, because that's what my culture is about. You must have one main chick, the one that's faithful, that stays at home, etc. And you can just, skip out her at any time you want to. Then you have the sideline who pretty much she's just there for the sex. She's good for the sex. And I mean so on and so on. Just various names for various types of women. And the men in the culture, the men in my culture like to just have a whole roster of women for different purposes and different reasons. And they'll appear to their main chick especially, they'll appear to her like they're faithful and true and honest and they don't want no relationship with them, where they get in the main chick's mind where they try to, get the main chick feeling like she's just so secure in herself and she has nothing to worry about. But at the same time, every single second they have extra, they're browsing porn online or they're on dating sites or conversating, texting with these other women. I mean, and these it's usually identifiable. Women, here's the tipper, and men too. You can take this tip too, because women do this too. If somebody does not want to show you their phone, that is the number one guarantee. I don't care what they say to you, because there's good narcissists, manipulators, liars, cheaters, everything out there. And people aren't who they always say they are to be. But the one key thing, luckily these days, phones are low price enough that everybody has one in their pocket. So if you're in a relationship, both of y'all are going to have a phone most likely. Okay, so you both have phones. Your phone's open. Why aren't theirs? That's the number one indicator. If somebody doesn't have anything to hide, they wouldn't have locks. They wouldn't have anything to hide. There should be no problem. If I'm giving you my good body in the bed and I'm opening myself up to you, you can't open your phone. Oh no, it doesn't work that way. Something's gonna change here. You can't open your phone, but I can open this up. Oh no, no sir. Um, think again. It doesn't work like that. It does not get that good. Okay. I'm not opening anything up if you can't at least open your phone. And us women, we have to come to that conclusion that if this person, I mean, just who knows what kind of relationship somebody would go for. If you're a man, if you're a woman, whatever, if you have a certain reason for being in a relationship, you don't have to lie and cheat about it. Just be honest up front. When you don't, go to that person and say, this is who I am. I don't plan to be faithful ever. Are you with it or not? Give that person the respect and decency to say yes or no. Because they just might say yes and say, even though I'm not promoting this in any kind of way, but I'm just saying, don't be a liar. That's my whole goal. I don't want anybody to have multiple relations at all. Love should be love, and you should be able to be together. But if you are just upfront and honest, you don't know what you'll get. Let's see. But I talk so much. I'm gonna be right back. I'll be right back. Okay, I had to go see about something. But anyway, where I was at. I was at the part that, in summary, yeah, that's about it. I can wrap it up here. But, pretty much the whole summary of everything is that just show your husband and wife respect. If you plan to keep them forever, or else I can guarantee they are going to be thinking about leaving. Um, but the specific verse was, let me go through it. 522. Specific verse is, wives, be willing to serve your husbands the same as the Lord. And that's the whole thing that I just talked about. Just serve your husband as you would serve God. Be mindful of your bad attitude. Be mindful of how you're treating your husband, whether you think he deserves it or not. Because just imagine your husband was Christ. Um, you might disagree with Christ's way of doing something, but would you treat him bad? No. So treat your husband with respect too. Be willing to serve him the same as you serve the Lord. And it's simple as that. And not only your husband, just your fellow human, anybody that you come in contact with. Have patience with people. Um, if you notice that you're being snappy or whatever to your husband, at least, you know, most of the week, then you have a problem with neglecting who he is. You are forgetting who you used to be to you. You might be feeling, not appreciated, and it's coming out in a negative way to him. So just be mindful of that. Sometimes, well, not sometimes, all the time, love can conquer all. So instead of treating him bad just because you're not getting attention, start showing affection even though he's not caring about you. And then, of course, most likely it'll get reciprocated and they'll treat you the same too. Um, Hopefully, both husband and wife use divorce as the last option, but sometimes that's all that's left because someone does not want to, participate or treat you right, etc. And you shouldn't be around abuse or being used or anything like that. That's not what your life is meant for. God is all about pro-life. In every decision, in every rule he makes, he's all about being for life. That's why he says, man and woman together, all these things. I mean, he just says he wants life to continue. So his rules are all based on life continuing. And if somebody is in your relationship trying to cut your life out, then that's not promoting your life, and God's not for that in no way, shape, or form. Of course, people can change, yes. It does take work. It does take the opening of the spirit. Usually, if someone is involved in abuse or abusing you or whatever, then most likely the only thing that's really going to change them to the core of their heart is the Word of God. They can't really change that on their own because it's like a trend. Like I said earlier, how some men have it in their DNA to almost cheat, even though they want to be faithful. It's still going to come out that they're going to cheat because it's embedded in them. Just like an abuser, he's going to want with all his heart to not hurt you anymore, but it's embedded in him, in his rage, in the way he's grown up, in the culture where he's been not pretty much abused himself by saying don't cry or being deep just to make him a tougher so-called man or whatever. He's already gotten that in his spirit and it's developed in him and it's embedded in them. And the only thing that can embed something really is God's word. It can change you from the inside out. So if he is serious about changing or whatever, then seek God together, do things godly together. That's the only thing that's really gonna bring about change. I don't know the man's name, but he's a preacher. Well, there's many preachers that I've actually heard. Another one I just thought of, Bloomer or something. He had a history of being abused. Being an abuser. He um he said something about he used to be illiterate or something. I heard his story briefly like 10 years ago. But there's multiple preachers that I hear stories about how they used to abuse their wife or whatever, and God changed them, and that's a great thing. So it's not like that God hates the person. He just hates the abuse that's going on. He doesn't want his child to die from that, whether man or woman. If you're a woman or a man who's being abused by someone, just get out of that or step back until that person can come to the realization that they can need to find Christ and need to make changes inside out, not just verbally saying, okay, I won't do this, I won't do that, but to make legitimate changes inside. And God can help them with that. But that is the last part. Sorry for the delay in the middle. It was about 6 minutes long. I wish I could rewind and tell you to skip the next 6 minutes, but I can't. You only will find it out after you go through the whole blank part. But that's life. You have to go through the rough part to get to the end. And the end is a beautiful thing because I can get back to doing other stuff too. But I'm glad that I was able to share this. Everyone have a very blessed day and talk to you tomorrow.